Mr. Speaker, I yield 2 minutes to the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Edwards, who has been a prime mover behind this bill and is the originator of the idea that it should not be a 5 or 10 year bill.
Gentleman from Texas is recognized for 2 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, we have a moral obligation to not drown our children in a sea of national debt, and that is why I'm strongly supporting this pay-as-you-go legislation. I believe history will show that one of the worst mistakes made by the Republican-led Congress of the past decade was to not extend the federal pay-go rules in 2002. The facts speak for themselves. We went from a projected 10-year federal surplus of $5.6 trillion to a deficit of $4.5 trillion, an astounding $10 trillion fiscal U-turn. For the good of our children and our country's future, it's time to correct that mistake and to see that it never happens again. The pay-as-you-go principle is one that American families and businesses understand. It's common sense, and they get it. Unfortunately, some of the members of Congress who were the architects of the largest deficits in American history, those who created the deficits they now rail against on a daily basis, don't get it. Speech after speech, they sing the siren song of fiscal responsibility, yet today they will vote against the common sense pay-as-you-go law. I'm proud to have led the fight to make this new pay-as-you-go bill a permanent law, not a temporary one. The pay-go principle makes sense for this Congress and for all future Congresses. Had it been made permanent in the 1990s, our national debt today would be trillions less and our children's future far brighter. We cannot correct overnight the irresponsible fiscal decisions of the past decade, but with this pay-go bill as the permanent law of the land, we will begin the important process of reducing deficits and balancing the federal budget. That, more than any speech, is what our children and our country deserve.